All right, all right, all right. It's Jared here. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Are we even on? Yes, we are. Hello, everyone. It's Jared here, and I am getting closer. I'm getting very much closer to setting up my studio, so I have a little bit more lighting. So the live stream is looking good, and you've got my face. So everyone's heard me voice who's subscribed to the channel, and I'd like to big thank you to all 64 subscribers. Um, I've done this with no promotion. I have not told a friend or a colleague to follow the channel. I haven't posted on my own social media. So thank you for picking it up via YouTube search or whatever. And I'm very stoked that I've come this far today. And before I get really into it, I'd just like you to, after this, thank you to like and subscribe this stream if you are watching, because it will help me to get out to you. So yeah, this is a huge thing for me. I'm here setting up a studio. This is kind of a big leap into the ocean, into the ocean or into the open. Um, I want to change my life, change my career, and YouTube is a big thing for me. Or public broadcasting, training, developing people, helping people change their lives is something that I really want to do. So, and right now, that's through investing and investing in cryptocurrencies. And if you are like me and you had been waiting, and let's kind of go over to the chart, and if you had been waiting and had bought in around this zone, which I have, and I bought kind of a little bit back here, but I bought in at the top of the range and kind of took a machine gun and dotted my way down this profile and even further in here. And if you were to look at my kind of buying or my accumulation, I've dotted my way all along here. I'm very happy right now because the price is sitting up there, right? But not everyone's there, right? So you're telling friends about it and you're saying this is the next best thing, even though it's gone up 100%. You're trying to get your friends and family into this, right? Because even though it's gone up 100%, it's still got maybe, and let's have a look at that. It's still, and I think it's about a 20x to go. If we look at the price now, and let's go about 60 cents. It's still got a 4x to the all-time high, and then if we go by, say, my favorite analyst, which is the blockchain backer, and we look at the $10 mark, we could probably even from the 60-cent mark look about a 20 times, right? So they won't get the 40 times that we all got if we got in at the 22 to 25 cent mark, but there's still a huge opportunity there, right? And so I would just wanted to draw out three opportunities that you can kind of sell or help people that want to invest in this, because even though we all understand and we want XRP to do the next big thing, not everyone's on board with this, right? So there's a couple of things you can point out, and I love charts because if you spend time explaining what XRP is and how it's going to change the world and how Bitcoin's a store of value, like people get lost, but what they can understand is visual things, right? So you can see that from July, it's taken a big trend up. It's consolidated and then it's taken a big trend up, right? And during those two times, there's a lot of volume. So you can see right now that there's a big lot of volume. And so what happened here is that a load of volume happened, and then the volume kind of chilled out for a long time, and then it slowly increased, right? So this is the same thing's happening here again. Big, massive amount of volume. Everyone's trading this coin at the moment, and then the volume's trailing off. What does that mean? That means that we're building up, we're tightening the spring for that next move, maybe to $2. So you got to say it's the right time to get in now. It may drop down. Understand that the volatility is there, but we need to get in and average our way in before the next explosion, right? So there's three options that I have for the naive investor into cryptocurrency, and I was that naive investor 6 months ago, but now I'm not. But I'm riding this thing to the moon. But there's three options, right? So let's set some targets. Let's set some targets of around, and let's be conservative of the kind of $1.80 mark, right? So we'll set a $1.80 mark, and we'll set an all-time high mark, and then we will set let's set somewhere in between the 12 and 13 mark, right? So if we set somewhere at let's go the 12, right? So where are we now? So let's say your outcome is that you want to have $10,000 profit at the end. So, or something around that, right? So if you, or let's say we have let's say we have $10,000 to play with right now, but we want to double it into $20,000, and you want to do it in a short time frame. Well, then we can look at this $1.80 to $2 range, right? So if we put out $10,000 in right now, even if it went backwards a little bit, we've got around 200%. So we can double that or maybe triple it, right? So that's the kind of not the safe option, but like I've got quite a bit of money and I want to double it very quickly. The next option is you go, well, I don't really want to risk that $10,000 and see it go down to $7,000 or $6,000 in the hope that it goes back up. I'm very risk averse. So you could say, hey, maybe if you put $5,000 in, and what would happen? And we go to our kind of 60-cent mark. If we wait for a little bit of a retrace, and we go up to all-time highs. So you've got a 4-time gain then. So you put your $5,000 in, it might drop by 20 or 30%, which is down to 3,500, which isn't as scary because you've only lost 1,500 on paper. But then when it goes back up again, you've got 5 times your 5,000, which is what? Or 4 times your 5,000, which is 20,000. So you've got your 10 to 20,000 in a short time frame. And the other option is wait a bit longer to all-time highs, and you've got your 5 to 20,000 in a little bit longer time frame. And then I guess the more risk tolerant, and this is probably the safer option, is if you want to kind of buy and hold for a bit longer, maybe a year or 2 years, depending on how it all plays out, is that we put our maybe 2,500 or 2,000 in. So same again, we're buying in around now, let's say around an average of 60 cents if we average in, and we're going up to the $12 mark. So then we've got our 18 times or maybe 20 times. So 2 times 20, and which is like 1 times 20, that's 40,000. So straight away, you've got 3 options there. Like you can go, I'm not up for the huge gamble, but I've got a bit of money and I can pretty much guarantee that this thing's got to at least double. I don't know when it's going to double, but it's going to at least double, and I'm willing to put my 10 grand in and take the money out, and then there's 20 grand. Or the next thing you're going to do is go, well, I'm not really willing, I'm willing to lose 5, or I'm willing to lose half of 5,000. So I'm going to put the 5,000 in and get to all-time highs. And then I'll sell out, and I've still got my 20,000, and I've still got the massive gains, but I've kind of got a bigger profit margin. And then that last option, and the one that I'm going for, is that put whatever you can afford to lose, and ride it all the way to the top, baby, and see that 20% gain, or 20 times gain, or if you were lucky enough to get it in even back in March at 15 cents or 20 cents, or averaging your way through the whole bear market, you could be looking at 40 times, 50 times your money. So they're the brilliant options that you have as an XRP investor. And XRP is just a use case because I'm very confident in it. And I could probably, this is not financial advice, and I could probably say that safely, based on history and what XRP has done in bull markets, we could say that these things will play out to some kind of accuracy without judging the time frame. but the beautiful thing about cryptocurrencies is there's things that are like XRP that are more illiquid, that can pump a lot higher, and I've done other videos about that, and whether it be VET or basic attention token, or, and even seeing down here coins like Dash, that right now they, and it's trading at $120 a coin, but forget the price of the coin, just think about the percentages, right? So to all-time high is 12x. So you look back at XRP, it's only 4x to the all-time high. You've got something like Dash there that's a well-known coin that's seen a couple of bull markets, that still has a 12 times. So if that goes beyond its 12 times all-time high, then who knows what could happen. And then you've got your other ones like XLM that's done, while XRP's done 100% in the latest pump. Stellar has done 150%. So is that going to do now 600% to its all-time high? 600% in the next push towards all-time high or alt season or more? Who knows? So there's this whole world out there of opportunity if you're a risk reward person, and this is the idea, is if you put a little bit more in and you're not willing to play the long game and wait it out, you can double your money, triple your money quite easily, or the other option is just do the safe bet, buy Bitcoin, I think the entire world of investors, gold investors or people that really get the ideas of markets and what markets do in bull runs, are putting their money in Bitcoin right now as a hedge, because they're like, well, if I put my money in a bank, it's going to do nothing. But if I put my money in Bitcoin, it could 3 times, 5 times over the next year to 5 years, right? So it's a kind of a safe option. It could potentially do a lot more. There's all sorts of predictions out there, but these smaller cap coins, just like smaller cap stocks or micro stocks, if one person comes in and goes, do you know what, I'm backing this coin, what happens? The coin pumps, and I think that's probably another bad thing about small cryptocurrencies, that people can come together and put a lot of money into a coin, quickly pump it, and then drag their money out. But you've got to be aware and do your research. But I think I heard something recently that if you kind of pick a coin in the top 20 on Coinbase, you're a little bit safer, because a lot of people are trading that, and they're not these obscure coins that people are just pumping and dumping. But, look at my watch list. I've got Bitcoin because I love to follow it, because it's doing great things at the moment. Ethereum, same deal again. It's practically another Bitcoin. It's just a little bit laggard on it. XRP, love the coin, love the concept behind the, helping a person like me that wants to transfer money between Ireland and Australia save time and money, because XRP is a bridge currency, or being positioned as a bridge currency. Stellar, the same thing, similar. The person that started Stellar actually started XRP and kind of forked off from there, and is doing the same thing, trying to help the unbanked, help people move money around the world easier. Cardano, it's like a new version of Ethereum there. Smart contracts, helping people do business with cryptocurrency without banks and that all sort of thing. VET, supply chain coin, trying to make the supply chain better, trying to make our vaccines get around the world better, our food, all those kind of things. Chainlink, not 100% sure on that project, but it's done a lot of pumping and it's in a solid channel right now. Do you know what? It's as worth a gamble if you're willing to gamble on anything. Basic attention token, that's a token that's for content creators like me. If you're on the Brave browser, you can receive them, you can give them out to other content creators. It's a useful tool in the modern world. Dash, not quite sure what it's about, but like I say, coin that's been around. It's got an all-time high that's still quite a far way away. Litecoin is basically an offshoot of Bitcoin, or an improvement on Bitcoin. It's been around a long time. And then the last one I kind of like, and this is the shot in the dark, where maybe you put 5% of your portfolio of crypto in something like Zukila. There's a bit of hype around there, and you can see since March it's been printing some large upswings and consolidated, and it's potentially on that next big move. So this is the game, right? And everyone's saying that cryptocurrency is potentially a large wealth transfer to the next generation of people that are willing to invest in it. And why not? Why not be one of those people? You can be in that stock market over there, and I've done videos of why I sold out of all my growth stocks, because they're going to pump a little bit. That you might get 100% gain, then they're going to retrace, and 100% gain and retrace. These crypto stocks, you can see they've gone up 100% and retraced 25% or 30%. They'll go up 200% and then they'll retrace 40 or 50%. There's larger volatility but larger profits to be made, and why not? Why not, if you're in a position to actually position yourself to change your life and make some coin out of the fact that you know a little bit more than the average investor about these markets, right? This is what the markets do. They just move money around the world, right? It's a cool thing. And I guess, I've got to talk about the Riot and Mara. These are the stocks that I rolled my growth stocks in, because these were undervalued Bitcoin miners. And if anyone knows about mining in general, it's simple, right? You spend money getting something out of the ground, or you spend money producing something to sell it, right? These crew, they buy computers that are purpose built to mine Bitcoin, and they sell it on the open market. And there is no diggers, there's no forward drives, there's no need for massive amounts of crew fly in, fly out, and blowing holes in the ground. These guys are just probably chewing a lot of electricity, powering the computers, but they are mining digital gold, and the evidence is there. You can see the aggressive trend of the investors going there, and I think that they were severely undervalued. And the fact that if they were undervalued, and then the price of the product they're producing is going up rapidly, you've got this massive disparity where the market doesn't really understand what's happening until it's happening. And if you got in early enough, you're like, hold on a second, I've bought a company that was probably originally undervalued, and now they're increasing their value quicker than the market can actually understand that, and that's a cool thing to be a part of. And for me, it was a gamble like any other stock, but it was a intuitive gamble, if you know what I mean. Understanding, I'm a boy from Kalgoorlie in Perth, WA. I've seen and been around and been to mining conferences, and understand that mining stocks pump. Gold is there to be sold. People make money out of gold. You find it, you sell it, you hoard it, whatever. These crew, Riot, Marathon, Argo Blockchain, they're storing some of their own gold, so they're saving it while it's increasing. So they're not just putting cash in the bank like stock market companies. They are holding an asset that is increasing in price, while selling that asset as it increases in price over time. So over the next year, next decade. It's a brilliant business model, and it's so simple. It's not about designing a mobile phone and selling it and competing with all the other mobile phones. It's like, they're printing money, or they're finding money that's been printed or being printed, and they're selling it, and that money is deflationary. It will always go up in price, because one, there's a limited number of it, and two, people have lost enough of it for there to be even less than there was originally. So that's super cool as well. And then, I'm just going to kind of end off and say thank you if you have watched, and I think there's one concurrent viewer. This is a very new thing to me, doing this live streaming thing. Is that the other sectors I'm watching? I've got 5G, and I think anyone can kind of Google some 5G sort of stuff. What have I got? Qualcomm, Skyworks Solutions, Verizon, Intel, Nokia, Garmin's in there for 5G, just because they're doing the satellite, the phones, all the kind of communication things for spaceships, blah, 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 planes. Vodafone, Microsoft, Google, AMD, and Taiwan Semiconductors. And but the kind of thing that I'm super bullish on right now, and trying to find the next big things is mining metals, rare things, commodities that are going to be increasingly in demand. Maybe not right now, it's kind of just the tipping point, but in the next 5 to 10 years, as the world is becoming more first world, or more people are moving from lower class to middle class, or from third world to middle class society, needing fridges and electrics and all those sort of things, and then the upper class is moving into their electric vehicles, which is the icing on the cake. You've got rare earth metals. If you're in the ASX stock market, Linus Rare Earths Limited. This is a little one I've took a real stab in the dark on. Tin Mining. They're in tin, which is the solder. They've just bought coking coal, which is always going to be in high demand for people that are smeltering steel in developing countries. Child Mining, gold, silver, London Stock Exchange, very bullish, consolidating right now, going to be very bullish again. This one's an interesting one. It just took a dip today. You can be fearful of that, or you can go, that's on sale. What has happened is that one of the founders, or the directors, has sold a lot of his shares, not because he's getting out, but he wants to make them available on the stock market. Because he had 68% of the shares, he's like, hold on a second, people want this stock. I want to give it there so people can buy it, and then that could be a good thing for the stock. It may be a bad thing. It may flood the market. It may dilute it. But what happened today, it went down and it kind of slowly creeped up again. So that's a good one. Kefi Gold and Copper. Love this one. And I'm going to go to that 2-week chart just to have a look at where it was. So I guess something interesting happened, exploration company, and then through the bear market, they've just lost all their value and they've kind of turned around. So getting in now, getting in early on these things, if they get halfway back to where they were, you're onto gold mines, literally. Hot Chili Copper in the ASX. Hot Chili Limited is a copper play, and they have a ton of gold as well. So they've kind of got maybe, I think it's 60% copper and 40% gold in a 30-year project in Chile, right near the coast. Super duper exciting. Do your own research, but super duper exciting if you can invest in the ASX. Monroy Resources, these crew are in Canada. Well, no, they've just bought a 70% stake in a exploration company in Quebec, and Quebec is the kind of the new frontier, the next gold rush, from what they're saying. Very friendly economic zone for mining. Government's okay with it, and the people are okay with it. Matador Mining, same deal again. Australian company searching for gold in Quebec. Castillo Copper just found a very shallow reserve, or they're drilling and finding a very shallow reserve of copper in Australia. So I love that idea. Australia, friendly mining zone, copper company, copper prices going up, simple play. Kind of, in the range of, they've gone down, up, down, and they're in this consolidation period. So price discovery very soon for those crew. Ardidan, same deal again. I believe they are in Quebec. So once again, up, down, up, and they're shooting upwards from the next consolidation towards price discovery, which is very exciting. Wheaton Precious Metals, they're on the watch list. I think they're more of a seller, a middleman distributor, so they buy the gold, sell the gold kind of thing. So they're going to profit from any bull market. West African Resources now, probably this horse has bolted a little bit. If you can, once again, buy in the ASX. I owned these crew at 30 cents a long time ago, probably at the start of the bear market, a while back, somewhere around here, probably around this range. Maybe bought it in there, went down, went back up again, sold it. Didn't really know what was happening. Probably glad I did, because look how far it went down. But look what's happened since. West African Resources, they have ore bodies, or they're targeting ore bodies with high concentrations of gold in Africa. So that's pretty cool. And just, I could keep going on. There's just a huge watch list of junior miners that you got to do your own research, but there's big things happening in the market. These Turquoise Hill Resources, still kind of on the edge of these guys. They have a big copper and gold deposit as well, 100-year deposit, but there's a lot of bad news coming out about the extra costs for the underground operation. It's half owned by Mongolia. There's a lot of litigation going on for investors that bought in up here and the price has gone down and trying to get their money back. So I'm kind of staying away for that right now. If you want a safer play, Rio right now, they're switching from iron ore to copper. Their iron ore is always going to make them money, but they're also heavily going into copper. So they're a smart company that's always paid a good dividend to their investors, and look at the growth trend recently. No reason why that can't happen again. There is no reason why that can't happen again. And there's a couple more I'm just kind of hearing about: Blackstone Minerals, EQ Resources, and Meteoric Resources. This is an interesting one. These guys are mining in New South Wales, I think, and they're pretty excited about some gold and maybe a bit of copper around there. Once again, in Australia, easy, like the managing director was saying, he lives in Orange. He can chat to the farmers about being on their land. He can go home to the wife and have a meeting. It's a very easy approach to mining, as opposed to being overseas and having to fly in and out, especially during the pandemic and Australia being out of lockdown, but the rest of the world still being in them. So this is one I'm going to keep an eye on. Definitely keep an eye on. Northern Dynasty Minerals, yeah, that was another one on the watch list as well. But do you know what? Like I say, I just think that it's the next play, and especially if you're in cryptocurrencies, where are you going to put your money next? And the good thing about the metals bull run is they don't just happen quickly in little bursts and busts. They happen over 3 or 4 or 5 years, so you can kind of switch your money over and put it in there for maybe the last half of the commodities bull run. And then kind of cash out if you wanted to, or it's up to yourself. Do what you want to do, be what you want to be. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I would love it if you could like and subscribe. I do thank anyone that has been watching, especially that concurrent viewer. The one concurrent viewer, well done. I love this game. It's kind of part gambling, but part, being informed about the world rather than hearing all this bad news that's going on the mainstream media. At least you can listen to some positive news stories about people that are investing and doing business and changing the world. So that's a cool thing. So I'm just going to end right now. And that was a good test of the live stream gear, and you've seen my face. So I'm not ashamed of that. It's just I had a bad lighting situation before. So I think if I put the things up there, I can show you what I've done. Just a bit of strip lighting. So that's cool. Anyway, for now, hooroo. Thank you. Bye-bye.